So my name is Jane Park. I work for Creative Commons, and I've been working there for over 6 years. And I'm going to talk to you about the School of Open, a project I manage. So because I don't know the meaning of the word vacation, I decided to go on vacation to Kenya and Tanzania last year for my 2 weeks. And when I came back, I took a long, hot shower, and I felt extremely guilty for doing so after. There is running water in Kenya, of course, but it doesn't work quite so well all the time, and I had taken quite a few bucket showers on my trip. But while I was there, I had the chance to talk to the volunteers behind the School of Open Kenya initiative. It's an after-high school training program where the volunteers work with students to help them leverage the internet to achieve their goals. And this particular school's goals was to install running water in their school so they won't have to take a trip to the well every day. Amazingly, with the help of a plumber that they found in the Netherlands on Twitter and resources they found online, they were able to build a DIY plumbing system in their school. This is what we talk about when we talk about the power of open and its ability to empower local communities all around the world to do things they might otherwise not be able to do. This is another School of Open initiative in Luxi Island off the rural coast of China. These children are known as left behind children because their parents leave them to work on the mainland. And School of Open volunteers ran a summer program here last year as well, and they taught the kids how to use open educational resources to remix videos. So when it comes to, in both of these cases, School of Open volunteers were helping local communities to solve their local problems by learning about and using open resources and tools. So at this point, you're probably thinking, I've been throwing around the word open a lot. What do you mean exactly when I say the word open? Well, let's take this image metaphorically for a second. The door's open, that's an objective truth. But the kid reaching for the door handle can't quite reach it, while the woman walking behind him can. So my point is that there's a lot of free stuff on the internet. But it doesn't really matter if there's all these open movements around them and people on a day-to-day basis can't find them or use them because they don't know that they exist in the first place, and they don't know how to leverage them. So this is where the School of Open comes in. We work to bridge that gap. We work to give that kid a stool so that he can reach that door handle. The School of Open is a community of volunteers from all around the world of all different ages, and they have expertise in everything from copyright law to scientific works. And it's run by two organizations, the Peer-to-Peer University and Creative Commons. P2PU, as you all know, is an active peer learning community. And Creative Commons is a nonprofit that is dedicated to making it easier for others to share and build upon the works of copyright. And this is the School of Open. In addition to the training programs we have in China and Kenya and many other places, we also offer free online courses on topics like copyright for educators. And everything we do runs on a peer learning model. So what does that mean? That means that we encourage project-based learning. We encourage participatory learning. We want to empower learners to tackle their own problems. We don't want to do that for them. And our network of learners is vast. So Creative Commons alone has over 270 affiliates in over 74 countries. But the important thing to remember is that School of Open is not just Creative Commons, not just P2PU, it is beyond that. It encompasses a wide network of organizations working in the open space, many of which you probably recognize here. Of course, not all of them are officially part of the School of Open, but we are all contributing to the open effort in some way, and we are collaborating with these organizations. So you might be interested to know that the original idea for the School of Open started with a much more niche problem. The fact that copyright was just too confusing for the average educator to decipher, much less the average person. So P2PU decided to start the Copyright for Educators courses in 2009, and since then we've expanded our offerings. So this is Open Advocate David Wiley's course on openness in education, and it's now on P2PU, part of School of Open, and anyone can take it at any time at their own pace. This is another course called Teach Someone Something with Open Content. This helps people find, use, and teach with open resources online. And we have many, so this is what you're going to do. If you remember one thing from this talk, remember our web address. It's schoolofopen.org. All the information on this slide and everything I talked about is on there. You can also email me directly at janepark@creativecommons.org if you want to start a School of Open project in your region. And because I work for Creative Commons, I cannot end this talk without saying that this slide deck is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution license, which means that you can reuse, remix, and redistribute it even for commercial purposes as long as you give credit to Creative Commons. And of course, this slide deck itself is a remix. I found all the images online under Creative Commons licenses. These are the attributions for those photos. And I didn't have to ask for permission because permission was already granted.